think I'll just have to begin the class with you, Teresia. Then the rest will find us somewhere as we continue. So as we said last week, today I'm going to talk about occupational information. So when I talk about occupational information, it is simply about the career. What career can you have, or can you get, or can you begin after you complete your artisan in food and beverage production? So it's all about the career, or the kind of jobs, or the kind of places or establishments that you are able to work in. Now, when you are working in the hospitality industry, you can either be employed or you can be self-employed. So when it is self-employment, it means you become an entrepreneur. You begin your own hospitality business. For example, you start your own hotel, you start your own restaurant, you start your own cafe, you start your own club, somewhere where you can sell food and beverage. Or if you are more interested in beverage, you can decide, I'm going to open a pub where I'm going to be selling beverages, or I'm going to open a fast food where I'm going to be selling fast foods and soft drinks. So with the occupational information is simply about what can I occupy myself with? What can I do with my life after I have now studied my artisan in food and beverage production? So production and service actually. So I'm not going to basically talk about the self-employment part, because when it is self-employment, it means if it is that restaurant, you are the one who owns the restaurant. If it is the pub, you are the one who owns the pub. In other words, you begin your own business in the hospitality industry. But we can write something small about that. So where you've written occupational information, you can write occupational information we can begin by defining what is an occupation. First of all, what is an occupation? And an occupation is the job that you do. Occupation is the work that you do, or the job that you do, or your professional job. So we can write an occupation is a job or a profession. An occupation is a job or a profession. An occupation is a job or a profession. So now we can go to occupational information. So occupational information is the information relating to a job or profession. Professional occupation or occupational information is the information relating to a job or profession. Then we can write our third statement. With artisan in food and beverage production and service, with artisan in food and beverage production, you can become either of the following. You can become either of the following. With artisan in food and beverage production and service, you can become either of the following. Number one, self-employed. Self-employed hyphen self-employed hyphen, that is you can become an entrepreneur, that is you can become an entrepreneur in the food and beverage industry. That is, you can become an entrepreneur in the food and beverage industry. E.g., a hotelier. Now, when we say a hotelier is a owner of a hotel. So, e.g., a hotelier. A hotelier. That is the owner of a hotel. A restaurateur. I have written restaurateur there for you. That is the owner of a restaurant. A restaurateur. A fast food owner. Fast food owner. Now, I believe you know that what we call fast food is not the food. So when you say a fast food owner, we mean you are the person selling fast foods. Fast foods ni tule to those two small places where people mostly do takeaways. Na kama kuna stool, kuna tule tu stool turefu kwenye tuko karibu na counter. You do self service or you order, you are given by the cashier. In other words, there are no waiters. Ni mwenyewe tu ako hapo ama ako na wafanyikazi wawili. So people do not sit down and get served by a waiter. Hiyo ndio fast food. So a fast food owner, a pub owner. Don't write pub, write public house. Sijui kama mnajua pub means public house. A public house owner. etc. Now that is about being self-employed. When you have decided, I have gotten this knowledge in food and beverage, I am through with my artisan, maybe I do not want to continue with education now, or I do not have the finances to continue with my certificate right now. I can take a break, I can start something to do, and I do not want to get employed. So I begin a business. I start my small hotel, my small restaurant, a pub, a wines and spirits, anything that is about food and beverage. So long as you've gotten the knowledge of food in production and you've gotten the knowledge of beverages in service, you are able to run your own beginning or small business. Then number 2, remember we said you can become either of the following. So 1 was self-employed, and 2, number 2, you can seek employment. Seek employment hyphen. One can seek employment. One can seek employment in the food and beverage industry. One can seek employment in the food and beverage industry. Full stop. Another statement. The employment can either be in the commercial sector or non-commercial sector. The employment can either be in the commercial sector or non-commercial sector. So before I continue with the commercial sector and non-commercial, I want to mention what they are. When we talk about commercial sector, commercial means business. commercial means business. So when it is the commercial sector, it means you are there, the owner is there to make a profit. For example, when somebody opens a hotel or somebody opens a restaurant and they employ people, they are there to sell food, make profits, and they pay their employees. But when we come to the other side, non-commercial sector, it means that person is there to provide food and beverage, but they are not making any profit. It is not that they are not selling, they are selling, but their prices are subsidized, kama ziko too low. They are only able to recover their cost. They are only able to recover the cost ya kununua ingredients, ya kulipa wafanyikazi, ya kulipa stima na maji na waste disposal, then there is no profit. So that is what we call non-commercial sector. So below that number 2, because now it's about when you are seeking employment, we are saying you can seek employment either in the commercial or non-commercial sector. But now we want to know which are these places where you can seek the employment. So write a subtopic: job opportunities. Job opportunities. Now you remember in our topic, I think topic 3 of production, we looked at the kitchen staff. So when we look at job opportunities, we are not coming back to start writing the positions like the chef, the pastry chef. No, we are not going to do that. We are just going to say the places where you can work. So for example, tukisema kwa job opportunities, I want you to write A because iko na A na B. So job opportunities, A, commercial food and beverage operations. Commercial food and beverage operations. So now it's about employment opportunities. You've done your artisan in food and beverage and you've decided to look for a job. So where are you able to get the job? So the first place you'll get a job is in the commercial food and beverage operations. So under them, write Roman 1, hotels. Hotels. Then hyphen. They offer food, drink, and accommodation. They offer food, drink, and accommodation. Full stop. Therefore, you can offer your services. Therefore, you can offer your services as a waiter. So in that hotel, you can be employed in a hotel, in a restaurant. So you are there as a waiter. So as a waiter, comma, as a pastry chef, as a pastry chef. So if you are employed in the kitchen, you can be employed in various sections of the kitchen. So maybe a pastry chef, comma, a vegetable chef, the vegetable chef is the one we call the entremetier. Or you can be there as a garde-manger, you can be there as the saucier. So in other words, you are trying to say you can get yourself a job in the hotel as one of the positions. If it is in the kitchen, one of the sections. If it is in the restaurant, again, you can either be a waiter or you can even be a bar person. The bar person, because you have done food and beverage service. Roman 2, another place where you can be employed, motels. Motels. Now, motels is usually a word which comes from two words. It comes from motor and hotel. Motor meaning motor, like motor vehicle. So a motel is that particular establishment which is on transit. It also has another name. It's also known as a transit hotel. So it is like on the way to a destination, and they are mostly found along the highways. Along the highways, like people who come from, let's say you come to school in Kisumu, in not Kisumu, in Nairobi, and then you come from Nakuru, you come from Kisumu, you come from the western parts, like many other places. So it means on your way to Nairobi, for instance, let me use the example of on your way to Nairobi from, let's say, from Kisii, you'll see buses stopping by at Narok. And that's why Narok is a tourist town, it is a transit town. So there are very many motels there where people pass by, whether tourists, whether international tourists or just local tourists, or simply people on the move. People are going somewhere, but along the way, they will need somewhere to eat, to take food and drink. That is what we call a motel. Or if you are going to Mombasa from Nairobi, you will see buses stopping at Mchitwande, you will see buses stopping, others at Voi. Those are transit motels, some are transit hotels, or rather known as motels. So with your food and beverage knowledge, you can be employed in a motel, either to serve food and drink or to cook food and prepare drinks. So motels, hyphen, we write something about them. These are establishments sited near motorways. Sited simply means situated, located. So they are establishments sited near motorways, highways, barabara, iko kwa barabara. They provide meals. They provide meals in a restaurant. They provide meals in a restaurant or supply self-catering facilities. They provide meals in a restaurant or supply self-catering facilities. Full stop. Therefore, you can get a job as a production staff or as a service staff. Therefore, you can get a job as a production staff or a service staff. Roman 3, another place where you can get public houses. Public houses. Now, it's a common name ni pub. Unasikiaga watu wameenda kwa pub. Although what people call pub ni club. Most people call a club a pub. Now there is a difference between the two. There is a history behind a public house and how it began. Now, a public house started way back where it was just a place where people were going to, like, and it was for men. Originally it was for men only. People just used to go, and anyone would go there, any man would go, and they make stories and take alcohol and such kind of things. So that is what was known as a public house, because it was for men and generally for men, and it was like anything which is public, it means anything for everyone. So we write things about public houses. These are licensed, they have a license. These are licensed to sell alcoholic beverages within the law. These are licensed to sell alcoholic beverages within the law. So what is sold here is alcohol. Therefore, you can get a job as a bar person. Na najua kwa service mmeshasoma wale the service staff like the barman, head waiter. So as a bar person, as a head waiter, as a wine waiter, ama sommelier, I think mlimuita hivyo sommelier. So as a bar person, as a sommelier, as the head waiter, those are like examples of the professions ama job opportunities in the pub. Roman 4, restaurants. Restaurants. Again, tunaenda pia kwa service hapa. Wale staff wa restaurant. So restaurants, the aim of a restaurant is to sell food and drinks. The aim of a restaurant is to sell food and drinks. Full stop. Many restaurants are also licensed to sell alcoholic beverages. Many restaurants are also licensed to sell alcoholic beverages. Therefore, you can get a job as a food and beverage manager. You can get a job as a food and beverage manager, comma, a restaurant manager, comma, a head waiter, or just simply a waiter. And the other service stuff that you know that you've done in food and beverage service theory. Another establishment, another commercial establishment, Roman, I think now we are in Roman 5, fast food outlets. Fast food outlets. Fast food outlets. So I have already explained that a fast food outlet are the establishments that mainly sell fast foods. And what are fast foods? Those foods that do not take time. They are cooked very fast and mostly they are fried, like French fries, chicken, mostly fried. So those are fast foods. And in a fast food, you find like they usually have a specific menu. You know, when I go to that fast food, I cannot order ugali and find it. It is not there. You only find chips, chicken, sausage, samosa, such kind of things. So that things you will find in a fast food. Also, you will find that they do not have tables where you sit down and eat. They do not have waiters to serve you. It's a matter of going to the cashier, ordering, paying, get served as you stand. You either go and sit where they have those long stools where you sit and eat, or you leave with your food, you take it away. So that is a fast food outlet. So these have a restricted menu. These have a restricted menu to enable the food to be dispensed quickly. These have a restricted menu to enable the food to be dispensed quickly. Most of them have takeaway facilities. Most of them have takeaway facilities. Therefore, you can get a job as a production staff or a cashier. Therefore, you can get a job as a production staff or a cashier. Now remember, the cashier we are talking about here is not about accounts. No, it's just a matter of receiving the payment and giving out receipts for the food that is supposed to be served. Then Roman 6, wine and cocktail bars. Wine and cocktail bars. You can also get a job at a wine bar or a cocktail bar. Hyphen. These tend to sell a wide variety. These tend to sell a wide variety of alcoholic. These tend to sell a wide range of alcoholic beverages, but most of them do also provide food. But most of them do also provide food. Therefore, you can get a job as a barman, I'm a bar person. And then what is the name of the person who mixes cocktails? I believe you've done that person in service, so you're supposed to be able to write the person who mixes cocktails, the name of the person, the professional name of the person. So you can become the head waiter, the sommelier, etc. Roman 7, another commercial sector establishment. Transport catering, that is another establishment. Transport catering. If you've used the SGR, you've seen those people who sell food because they have a kitchen and they sell food. So there are people who cook, they are employed, that is transport catering. They cook for people on the train. There are waiters who serve people on the train. Again, you've heard of cruise ships. You know there is airline catering. So transport catering is about getting a job either to cook or to serve food when you are on transit. Either uko kwa ndege, uko kwa train, uko kwa ship. That is what we call transport catering. So hyphen, food and drink may be provided while the customer is on the move. Food and beverage, food and drink may be provided while the customer is on the move. Food and drink may be provided while the customer is on the move, e.g., on trains, on boats, even boats, ships, or aeroplane. on a trains, boats, ships, or aeroplanes. Therefore, you can take a job as a cook or a waiter. Therefore, you can get a job as a cook or a waiter. Now, let's go to number 2, our non-commercial. So, non-commercial food and beverage operations. I don't know whether kama uliandika number 1 ama uliandika A. So whichever you wrote. When we started the job opportunities, tukasema kuna commercial and non-commercial. And our number 1 was commercial ama A. So now number 2 or B ni non-commercial food and beverage operations. Non-commercial food and beverage operations. Now, as I have said when it comes to commercial, which we've discussed, that is about making profit. Commercial means business. They are there for business. And when you are having a business, you must make a profit for your business to continue. Because when you've used your money, which is the cost, you need to recover that cost. After recovering the cost, that is your cost of raw materials, your cost of water bills, your cost of electricity, waste disposal, labor, paying people, you must pay people. After that, you also need to remain with extra money, which you did not have before. Now, that extra money is known as profit. So for it to be a commercial establishment, you want to make profits. But now, on this other side, non-commercial, it means you are in this establishment, you are cooking and selling food, but you are not there to make a profit. So the price you give is subsidized. In other words, it is a low price. Like mostly what happens in school, in universities where they have dining halls, I'm a mess. You find that the food, this is majorly in the public universities. I don't know whether you relate. In the public universities, there is a mess. Now, in that mess, you can find that they are selling ugali, like kuna ugali ya 10 bob, kuna mboga ya 5 bob, such things. So that means the price is subsidized. In other words, they don't sell like they are selling the hotel. Or even the hostels za shule or hostels za university. You find you are paying like, let's say, 3,000 per entire semester. A semester has got 4 months. So from January to April, umelipa tu 3,000, unlike somebody else mwenye alienda kutafuta nyumba outside shule. Now that means it is subsidized. You are not paying the entire cost. You are just paying to allow them continue maintaining that particular place. Kama ni chakula, waendelee kupata pesa ya kununua ingredients. Lakini si eti hiyo ndio pesa inalipa hadi wafanyikazi. No. You find that if people are employed by a university, in the public university, that is, I'm very specific, if people are employed there to cook as cooks and others are employed as waiters, they are not paid using the money that students pay for food, because it can never be enough. They are employed there in the payroll of the university. Their salary does not depend on whether students eat or do not eat. So when students pay that little money for food, they are there they pay the money and get the food. Now that money will be used to keep replenishing, either buying new utensils or buying raw materials to continue cooking for them. But entirely, it's also known as welfare. It is welfare, like just giving back to the community, making sure you sustain them to stay there. So they are not there to make any profit. So when we say we are now on the non-commercial sector, we are also going to see some establishments which sell food and drink where you can get employed, but the company is not making any profit. They are paying you from there. You are in their salary costs. Vile wanalipa lecturer, vile wanalipa the accountant, that is the way they are also same way they are going to pay you from the university payroll, but not from money gotten from customers. So we write this. Under that, we have Roman 1, hospital catering. Hospital catering. So those people who work in the hospital, umeona hata hospitali zikiadvertise positions za caterers, za chef, za cooks. So when people are employed by the hospital to cook and others as waiters kuleta chakula kwa ward, it is not that the patients are the ones paying. Majorly the public hospitals. I know in the private hospitals, food is a bit expensive. You have a menu to choose and you pay according to what you choose. But in the public hospitals, they usually have they have a nutritionist who will advise this kind of a patient apikiwe chakula kama hii, na anapikiwa na anapewa. So that is welfare. I'm a hospital catering. So we write this about hospital catering. Hospitals have to provide food. Hospitals have to provide food and drink. Hospitals have to provide food and drink for a constantly changing range of people. Hospitals have to provide food and drink for a constantly changing range of people. For a constantly changing range of people within a strictly controlled budget. Within a strictly controlled budget. Full stop. Therefore, you can get a job. Therefore, you can get a job as a cateress, ama caterer, stroke caterer, a chef, or a cook in the hospital. You can get a job as a cateress or a caterer, a chef, or a cook in the hospital. Now, I know you might wonder, how do I become a chef when I've not done maybe my certificate, my diploma, BCD, my degree? Now, if let's say you did only artisan and you've been working for long and you've gotten a lot of experience, then you will be the next most favorable person to fill that particular vacancy. The only problem will be if there are people with higher qualifications. That's why you will understand why we will go to another subtopic about further training. Now, Roman 2, we are done with hospital. Roman 2, educational establishments. Educational establishments. So when we look at educational establishments here, now we are talking about schools. At a high school kulikuwaga na dining room, na dining hall. The money that you used to pay for food was just exactly the amount needed to buy your food. Not to pay the cooks, no, it is to buy the food. So educational establishments, school meals. School meals is the responsibility of the local education authority. School meals is the responsibility of the local education authority. The responsibility of the local education authority, which is responsible for supplying reasonably priced lunches in school. Reasonably priced lunches in school. Therefore, You can get a job, therefore, you can get a job as a school cateress, ama a school caterer, a school cateress or a school caterer, head cook, or a cook. Unasipokuwa wewe ndio cateress ama upewe job ya kuwa cook, kikakaa upandishwe cheo ukuwe the head cook. Roman 3, another non-commercial establishment, industrial catering. Industrial catering. Industrial catering. Hyphen. This is something you will experience maybe when you go for attachment. If you go for attachment in a good hotel. Now, industrial catering, hyphen, let's read about it. This provides food and drink. This provides food and drink to employees at work. This provides food and drink to employees at work. Now, when you talk of industrial catering, this is where you find that the company, or let me use the word employer, the employer provides food for the employee. For instance, unapata kuna chai ya saa 4, kuna lunch, kuna chai ya saa 10, and the employees are not paying anything. It is being provided by the employer. So there are people employed to cook the food. It means those people should be having knowledge of food and beverage. So they have a job as cooks. Somebody has a job as a cook to cook for employees, and the employees are not paying anything. Like for instance, when you are on attachment in a good hotel, you find that you'll be given tea, you'll be given lunch, you'll be given 10 o'clock tea, and after that you go home. You're not paying anything. You know that you are going to work and you are going to eat. So that is industrial catering. So therefore, you can get a job as a cook. So with industrial catering, you get a job as a cook. Full stop. Now, that is all about the job opportunities that I was able to bring together for you. So now this is taking me to my next subtopic, and the next subtopic is further training. Further training. Now this is like obvious. It is obvious. You know, once I'm done with artisan, the next stage is going for certificate. The next stage is going for a diploma. The next one is going for a higher diploma. The next one, a degree, a master's, a PhD. It's like a line. So when you're talking about further training, we are talking about other courses, other higher courses that you can pursue when you've already passed your artisan in food and beverage production and service. So we can write, with artisan in food and beverage, with artisan in food and beverage production and service, you can pursue the following higher courses. With artisan in food and beverage production and service, you can pursue the following higher courses. Full colon. Roman 1. Roman 1. Certificate in food and beverage production and service. Certificate in food and beverage production, and service. Roman 2, diploma in food and beverage production and service. Diploma in food and beverage production and service. Diploma in food and beverage production and service. Roman 3, higher diploma. Higher diploma in food and beverage production and service. Higher diploma in food and beverage production and service. Higher diploma in food and beverage production and service. Then the next one, degree in hotel management. Now, when it comes to degree, we have many of them. I'm going to give you like examples of like three different degrees you can do. So you can have degree in hotel management, comma, that is one. Another one, degree in hotel and hospitality management. Degree in hotel and hospitality management. Another one, degree in degree in hospitality and tourism management. Degree in hospitality and tourism management, etc. So you can, when you are going upwards, there are many other options. Then another one, you can have masters in hotel and hospitality management. Masters in hotel and hospitality management. Again, with masters, you can also have other various branches. Same with the PhD. So etc. Those ones are enough. Now on to our last subtopic, professional associations. Professional associations in the hotel industry. Professional associations in the hotel industry. Now I am going to give you only two, and I'm giving you an assignment of giving me like other three professional associations. When I talk of professional associations, these are bodies that govern, control, and support the hotel industry. The same way when you hear about NAT ikitajwa unajua that is about teachers. KUPPET ikitajwa that is about teachers. We have those others kama zile za madaktari, za university lecturers. Those are the professional bodies we are talking, or professional associations that we are talking about. Bodies that bring together people of the industry and have some common policies, common goals, some guidelines about that industry and such kind of things. So under professional associations, we have number one, the Association of Hotel Professionals, Kenya. The Association of Hotel Professionals, Kenya. The Association of Hotel Professionals, Kenya. So that name has got an abbreviation, the Association of Hotel Professionals, Kenya, into brackets, AHPK. AHPK, the Association of Hotel Professionals Kenya. Now, under it we write, it does the following. So iko na duties. It does the following. So there are duties of this particular body, this particular professional body. It does the following. Roman 1, promoting the hotel industry. Promoting the hotel industry. Kupromote ni kama kumarket. So promoting the hotel industry. Roman 2, defending the rights and interests. Defending the rights and interests of the food and beverage business in Kenya. Defending the rights and interests of the food and beverage business in Kenya. So the professional association or body will stand in the gap of defending the industry, talking about what are the rights of this industry. Roman 3, identifying, promoting and maintaining. Identifying, promoting and maintaining the highest professional and ethical standards in the industry. Identifying, promoting and maintaining the highest professional and ethical standards in the hotel industry. In the hotel industry. So they come up with standards, ethical standards. When you talk of ethics, is differentiating what is right and what is wrong and making sure you only do that which is right. In other words, it's about integrity. So coming up with integrity standards, good standards of the hotel industry, so that we do not destroy the image of the industry. Roman 4, developing code of conduct. Developing code of conduct and practice. Developing code of conduct, and practice. Full stop. What is code of conduct? Code of conduct is the expectation of behavior in the hotel industry. If you are working as a hotelier, whether in the kitchen, whether in the restaurant, how are you expected to behave? Are you supposed to start, if you are the waiter and your customer is complaining, amelewa, hataki kulipa bill, are you supposed to start fighting with the customer? What are you supposed to do? You are working in the bar, are you supposed to sell alcohol to people who are underage simply because they are customers and they have ordered and the customer is always right? So that is what we are calling code of conduct and practice. So the behavior expected of you as a hotelier, as a person working in the hotel industry or in the restaurant, anything food and beverage. Roman 5, promoting the welfare of its members. That is another responsibility of AHPK, promoting the welfare of its members in line with the government policies. Promoting the welfare of its members in line with, according to, in line with the government policies. Full stop. So again, this association will take care of welfare. What is welfare? Well-being, making sure the members are comfortable, they are being supported. If they are sick, you give them off days. If you've lost someone, you assist them in bearing the cost of burial costs, and support them financially. That is what we call welfare. Another body, number 2, Number 2, the Kenya Association of Hotel Keepers and Caterers. The Kenya Association of Hotel Keepers and Caterers. The Kenya Association of Hotel Keepers and Caterers. It also has an acronym, KAHC. KAHC. The Kenya Association of Hotel Keepers and Caterers. Hyphen, we write something about it before we write what it does. This is a representative body. This is a representative body that brings together. This is a representative body that brings together duly registered. Duly is D-U-L-Y. This is a representative body that brings together duly registered hotels, comma, camps, C-A-M-P-S, camps, and lodges in Kenya. Duly registered hotels, comma, camps, and lodges in Kenya. Lodge is L-O-D-G-E-S, lodges in Kenya. So this one is concerned about all the caterers, not only the hotel owners. So even if you work in a camp or you work in a lodge, they are brought together. Now, I believe when I say a lodge, you are not thinking of a guest house. There's a difference between a guest house and a lodge. A lodge is way bigger. It has a higher standard. It is family oriented. So a lodge is not a guest house. So it does the following. It does the following. So let us see what are the responsibilities of the KAHC when it comes to the hotels, camps, and lodges. It does the following. Roman 1, representing hospitality institutions countrywide. Representing hospitality institutions countrywide. So in the entire country, in the whole country, it represents or it speaks on behalf of the hospitality institutions. Then Roman 2, promoting tourism in Kenya. Promoting tourism in Kenya. Now, by now, you already know that tourism is directly connected to hospitality. Now, hospitality is that sale of food and drink and welcoming people and entertaining them. So, in that providing food and drink, we are the people to cook and serve that food. So, when we say tourism, we mean tourists who come into our hotels, whether Kenyan tourists who are local tourists or people from outside. You know that tourism is big in Kenya because people come to Kenya to see different things. So they come as tourists to tour, to see. So promoting tourism in Kenya. Without tourism, there is no hotel industry. That is why the hospitality industry is hardly hit, is the most affected even by this corona. It is also the most affected by terrorism, because when there is terrorism in Kenya, tourists cannot come into the country. So if they do not come, it means hotels do not have customers. So it is the work of this particular body, the KAHC, to promote tourism, keep showing what we have in Kenya, the culture, the animals, the landscape, the good things that people would want to come and see in the country. Roman 3, actively marketing and promoting actively marketing and promoting travel to Kenya. Actively marketing and promoting travel to Kenya. So again, doing campaigns on why people should travel, whether they are in Kenya, where they should travel to different parts of the country, if they are outside, where they should come into the country. So it is the work of this body to keep convincing people about the good things they can see. Now that is my end of the Kenya Association of Hotel Keepers. So this now is bringing me to the end of professional associations. And this is where I am finishing occupational information. So do we have questions about occupational information before I talk about the cards and assignments that you sent me?
Okay. Under hospitality and tourism, is it all about only services alone?
No. For now, what you know is about food production and service, sindio? But now, when we start diversifying as we go higher, you find that there are many other services. For example, kuna accommodation. Unajua kwa hoteli kuna kuwaga na rooms. There is a course ya accommodation. So as you go up, ikifika kwa degree, you do it as a unit. The same way you do production, you go to the kitchen, you do service, you go to the restaurant. When you are doing accommodation as a unit or housekeeping as a unit, you go to do your practical in rooms. You're shown how to make beds, how to clean different parts of the room, so that you are able even to work in the rooms. In big hotels, you also have gyms. We have a unit, ukiendelea na huko juu kwa degree inaitwa event management. You are able to manage events. You are able to host events. You are able to do sport tourism. So you are able to diversify into many other branches as you advance higher.
Okay.
Sawa? Yes.
Okay.
Now, difference between hotel and restaurant. Now, Teresia, when we talk about a hotel, we say a hotel is an establishment which offers food, drinks, accommodation, and entertainment. Food, drinks, accommodation, and entertainment. Meaning, ukikuja kwa hoteli iko na restaurant, utakula, utakunywa. Maybe iko na swimming pool, you will swim. Maybe it has a pub, you will be entertained. Maybe it has a discotheque, you'll be entertained. Now, when it comes to restaurant nayo is an establishment for sale of food and drinks, full stop. Kwa restaurant kunauzwa tu chakula na drinks, but kwa hoteli kuna vitu mingi. Kuna chakula and drinks, then kuna accommodation. Hoteli kuna rooms, restaurant haiwezi kuwa na rooms. Kuna rooms where you can accommodate people. Tourists can come, maybe spend 5 days in the hotel. But when it is a restaurant, they only pass by for lunch. Wakule lunch, waende. Ama wakuje wakule dinner, waende. So that is the difference. Yeah. Any other question? Maswali hakuna? Irungu Anjira, question. Kumu Angela, question. Emma, question. Evelyn umepotea class sana. Atieno Odwor, question. Faith, question.
Oh, excuse me?
Yes.
Under the subtopic of professional association in the hotel,
Mm-hmm.
is there any program supporting the trainees? The trainees
Okay.
who are doing
The people who are studying.
yes.
Yes. There are other bodies. That's why nimewapea hiyo assignment. Nimesema I want you to give me 3 more bodies, 3 more professional bodies that support the hospitality industry in Kenya, because there are other bodies which will deal with even the curriculum, like what is supposed to be covered, what are the students supposed to be taught, so that they can come and be effective in the industry itself. So yes, the answer is yes, there are other bodies. There is a body in charge of training.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, now you send me assignment once. There are other people who have already sent cut 1. Najua deadline haijafika. So let me talk about assignment. Najua deadline yenye haijafika ni ya cut, si ya assignment. No, today is Thursday. Actually today is the deadline. So kama hujatuma, is today Thursday? No, Thursday is tomorrow. Thursday is tomorrow. So let me talk about assignment 1. And the thing I want to say is, I checked, I'm very sure if you sent me your work from last week all the way to Monday around 3 p.m., nime reply every email. The only emails I've not replied ni zenye ziliingia from Tuesday usiku up to now. I'm replying to those emails tomorrow. Tomorrow is when I'll be marking the work and replying to your emails. Some of you have done some pretty good work. But number 2, you have a problem with number 2 about the ways of using oats in cookery. Now remember, it's just this semester when I taught you about dry goods. Nikifunza dry goods, hapo ndio nilifunza wheat, nikafunza maize, nikafunza oats, nikafunza rye, nikafunza barley. Now go and check what we wrote about oats. Stop guessing or googling. Juu saa zingine mna google vitu zenye make sense. So go to where we wrote about oats, check what you wrote, and that's why I said you should be making your notes when I am teaching, because mimi ndio nimewatumia hizo handouts. Najua what is in the handout na pia najua chenye ninawapatia. So what I insist on you writing is because whatever you are writing, whatever I'm adding on is not in the handout. So maybe you are not writing, unasema nitasoma handout. Na hiyo handout is not as comprehensive as the notes that I give. So make sure you thoroughly revise on what we did. Something else, number one, I gave out 4 questions, but then some people decided to set their own question by adding another section and giving me the answer and the wrong matchings. I know what I am asking. So my question is very correct. Do not try to correct that question. Just match it the way it is, because the answer to every part is there. The other thing about this card and an assignment, please make sure you are reading, because from some of the work you are not reading. It's like relax, unasema sasa hata hatujui mtihani itafanyika lini, wacha to relax. Do not relax. Production is wide na inaweza ulizwa maswali in many different ways, so make sure you are reading. That's why I want to cover the syllabus so that we can thoroughly revise, because it needs a lot of serious revision. So after next week, there are things that I want to repeat, and some of the things that I will repeat are, there are 3 topics. Are they 3? Yes, there are three topics which I must repeat. One is methods of cooking, the other one is vegetables, and the other one is fruits and nuts. Hizo topics lazima nizirudie. After that, now we are going to be doing adhara revision. Expect very many questions, very many neck questions from my side. I'll be sending them. Takuwa nazituma kama dawa kila siku. So make sure you are seriously revising just to make sure that you are ready for the exam at whatever time that it is going to be done. So do we have any other issue or any other question? Hatuna maswali? Okay, then if we have no questions, see you next week. Same time, same place, God willing.